Hey everybody, Dr. Oliver here for backintelligence.com, and today we're going to talk about the causes of low back pain, or what patients or individuals perceive as the causes of the low back pain and why they get frustrated with it. If you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button to get access to videos as we put them out. I have patients come in my office all the time and say, I didn't do anything. My back just went out. Well, obviously that didn't happen, right? There's something that led to that back going out. But 9 out of 10 times, someone comes in with an acute episode of low back pain. It's not from picking up a refrigerator. It's from doing something innocuous, like bending to pick up a pencil. I had a patient last week come in and say, all I did was bend down to feed the dog, and she couldn't get up. So I tell all these patients, that's not the cause of your pain. That's just the last thing you did before you had your episode. The truth is, most low back episodes, of most people that have these types of severe episodes where their back goes out or spasms, it's a cumulative effect. There's usually little micro traumas that occur along the way that eventually lead to these macro traumas. And the truth is, most of the micro traumas are not even perceived. Maybe a little achy, a little sore, but then it goes away. But you keep adding these on top of each other, eventually the body gives up and it goes into spasm, or it locks up, or something happens. So the truth is, there are things that you're doing that are causing your pain. You just don't know it. One of the most common things is, and we talked about it numerous times, is sitting. Sitting tends to be one of the most stressful positions on the low back. And the problem is most people sit way too much. If you really analyze how much people sit, whether it be their commute to work, sitting at their office all day at work, sitting for lunch, coming home, sitting in the car again for commute, then they sit for dinner, and then they sit on their couch, it's a lot. The majority of people will sit for over half their day. This is very taxing and very stressful to the low back. So the simplest thing I can tell my patients is, get a sit-stand desk. Don't sit as much. It's a very simple thing, but if you can reduce your sitting by even 25%, 30%, 50%, you'll go a long way in reducing your back pain episodes, and you'll make your back feel a lot better. So reducing the sitting is key. The other thing that tends to be key is your core, right? So we know that people that sit a lot or have a lot of back pain tend to have weaker cores. So what can we do? Well, we can activate the core. We can wake the core up. We can start with some simplistic exercises, and we can go up to complicated exercise. You just need to do something. And you should do something on a routine basis. You should do some sort of activation or core type exercises at least 4 days a week. Generally, that's a good number for most individuals to make gains or prevent their back issues. And they're really simplistic exercises. You can do them at home. You generally don't need equipment for them. We have a variety of videos that you can reference back to activating your core, getting your glutes working, all these things. Just go on our YouTube page and Google different exercises for low back pain, different exercises for core, different exercises for the glutes. So we need to wake these things up. If people just spend a little bit more time doing these, they wouldn't have these episodes of low back pain like they do. And then the other thing we tend to see, one of the movement things I tend to see with people, is the lack of hinging at the hips. So when you bend over, there's different ways you can bend. You can bend through your low back, which is here, or you can hinge through your hips. The key is to hinge through your hips. I can go all the way to this position, and I never even bent my low back at all yet. It's because I hinge through my hips. But most individuals won't do that. Most individuals will bend down through their low back. And again, that patient of mine that was feeding the dog, I watched her bend over. She didn't bend through her hips, she bent through her low back. And how many times do you think she fed that dog? Every single day, right? And she's doing that repeatedly. If you continuously do this to yourself, you're going to contribute to your injuries and your issues. This happens with people beating the dog, tying their shoes, going to turn on the faucet in the morning. All these different little micro movements that we do add up to give us the injury. So if you can learn to hinge through your hips, we have a great video on this that'll demonstrate how to do it. Just look at our YouTube page, look for hip hinging, and you'll discover that you're not hinging properly, that you're moving through your low back. And if you can change this one habit, you're going to reduce the stress on your back immensely. So follow these tips. Try not to sit so much. Let's just wake up the core, activate it a little bit, and let's not hinge through the low back. Let's hinge through those hips, and I promise you, your back will feel better just doing those things.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it and share it with a friend. Also, research shows that strengthening your core area can help relieve some of that low back pain that you're feeling, but it's important to know which exercises specifically to do and how, and you want these exercises to be both effective and safe for your spine. And we have just the PDF for that. So if you'd like to get a free PDF of core exercises that are safe for your spine and are very effective, there's going to be a link to get them somewhere here on the video or down below in the description. Just go to that page, enter your email, and we'll send you that PDF right away.